Hi, this is Sasy Scarborough, and beside me is the wonderful and talented and boisterous Whimsy Winks, who is also a member of the Hair Fair Committee. Today we wanted to share with you how easy it is to texture a bandana so that you can help us help Wigs for Kids this year by making a bandana and letting us sell it at Hair Fair to raise extra money for Wigs for Kids. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is contact me, Sasy Scarborough, in World and get your bandana kit. And inside the bandana kit you will find a bandana, such as the one shown on the floor here and in the poster. And it will also include 3 textures. The textures are the shadow maps for the bandana, as well as a template for you to make your add-on. You'll need to save these, they're full perms, you'll need to save these to your computer by using this save button here in the drop down. Save them to a folder that is easy for you to retrieve them from so that you can open them up in either Photoshop or GIMP. Now we have the textures in Photoshop and they're open on 3 different documents. The first thing that we need to actually do, make sure that we have both shadow maps on the same document. That'll make it a little bit easier. So the first thing we do is right click the layer, duplicate. This one is the inside and we want to move it to the outside bake. When we go over here we now have both shadows on the same document. Then the next step is to make a new layer. We press this button down here and it creates a new layer which is empty with alpha. Yours might actually by default fill, but mine's alpha. We then left click on it and drag it below because your shadows you will want on top. Next step, to make it easier to actually unshow those layers by clicking on the eyeball icons and then just have the layer selected, the new layer selected. You might want to fill it with some colour. You can choose the colours by clicking on one of these colour swatches and picking a colour that you might want to use. Let's go with this colour. Then click your paint bucket icon and fill. Easy as that. Now when I myself am using layers and making patterns, I like to use a second layer or sometimes up to 15 layers just so that I have, if I make any mistakes, I don't affect the whole thing. As this is just an example, I'm going to hurry it up, throw some polka dots on there. Then once you have that, show one of the layers. This one is outside of the bandana. Click on the layer and it would normally look like this. We want to select multiply so that you can see the texture. You will choose save, save as, make it a targa and call it polka outside, which I've already done earlier. Save, make me 4 bits so that there's no alpha. And that one's done. Then select the other layer, make it visible, hide the other, do the same thing, make it multiply, save it the same way, and you're done. Now we'll go back to Second Life. So I already uploaded the textures because you don't want to see the inside of my inventory. And this one here, so we can just drag that to where the red is because that's also part of the inside layer. And then this one is the outside. And as you can see, where the dark shading is makes sense with the mesh, which ends up your finished product. As you can see, it's quite big when it's in World, so you would probably want to make everything a little bit smaller, such as polka dots, stripes, things like that, because it will stretch. If you use Firestorm, you can use temporary textures and see how you like it in World before you do your final upload. Once you're finished, you can take a photo of this in World, either on your head or, of course, just resin on the ground. Take a snapshot. Then you can open it up in Photoshop. I double click so it unlocks it. Then using the magic wand tool, I can click on the white space, right click and select inverse, then just the bandana is selected. I press on the move tool, I press Ctrl C while it's selected, just like copying in other programs, and then I press Ctrl V, which pastes it into the template document. Holding down Shift, I drag, just like using the stretch tools in Second Life, until I get it inside the size of the ad. Position it to where I want it, and then making a new layer, choose the text box and just type my name or my blog in, of course, a smaller font so that it fits, maybe even smaller again. You can put your name, a business that you own, or a blog name, your child's name, whatever you want. Sometimes children help their parents do the texturing, drawing some fun little designs. We've had those over the years. Then you'd save that to your computer and upload it. Then when you're done, put in a folder called Hairfair Bandanas and your name the full perms bandana that you've textured, the image ad template that you've made, full perms, and a note card from yourself that you may want to include as to why you're doing this. We really appreciate all your help, not just myself, but the other members of the committee, which are Mel Van Beek, Whimsy Winks, and Fiacre Lark, as well as all the creators involved in Hairfair 2013, and the fabulous people over at Wigs for Kids. Thanks very much, and I hope this helps.